Today, I want to share with you this concept of the RPA. You see, a lot of people write down financial goals, things they want to create for their body, their business, but when it really comes down to it, it's not about writing down goals or manifestation. It comes down to this time that we spend actually interacting, putting ourselves out there. The concept of an RPA, the acronym, if you will, stands for revenue producing activities. So your revenue producing activity, it's the time where you get down to business. It's like how much time do you spend asking people in front of clients, in front of prospects, actually asking for the sale, watching videos, studying. That's not an RPA. That's things that you do to prep yourself for the time that you're there. Reading about fitness and going online and researching different fitness programs that is not that's not going to give you the most return on your investment of your time. You have to do some of that stuff, and that's going to help you get your process there a bit more refined. It's one part study to every 15 parts action. It's one video to 5 calls. It's actually doing something here so you can be more effective there. So realize this, and this is what one of my great friends and mentors has taught me years ago. Actually, I guess about a year ago now. Time flies by pretty quick, but it feels like I've known this man for a very long time. Jesse Elder. He asked one day the question, where does money come from? God, the universe? No. Money always comes. You ready for it? From other people's bank accounts. So even if you're out there and you're on the internet and you're a computer programmer or you've got some idea or invention, your ability to communicate your ideas and influence people where they give you some means of value, be it money for your service, that will always come from your ability to communicate with somebody. So you need to be in front of people. You have to do things to build your brand, to study, all that's behind the scenes. But how much time do you actually spend a day working, interacting with people, connecting? And then it's very important after you have these times with your RPAs, revenue producing activities, then you have something to review. What was great, what can be better. I have a series of questions I ask myself at the end of each day that relate to how much fun did I have, what could have been better. And I'm always seeking to make things better because that helps me keep things alive and progressing and moving forward. It's interesting. I ask this question every day to entrepreneurs, and I'll have them rate themselves on a scale of 1 to 10. Where do you feel like you're tapping into your full potential as a human being? It's an ambiguous question, and it's meant to be. But people will say, 5, 6, 7. Some people say a 10. It's amazing to me, and I've talked to Olympic athletes. I've talked to very successful people, world-renowned athletes, a similar question. And it's amazing to me that top producers, top performers, they always give themselves a lower number. Unsuccessful people give themselves a higher number. They say, you know what? Somebody's pretty unsuccessful. They say, you know what? I'm doing all I can. I'm like at 80%. I'm at like 90%. A lot of them feel that way. These are people that, maybe make around 100 grand. Not that that's bad, but in this context of where I speak, there's people that make anywhere from usually about 80 grand up to, millions and millions. And the people that are always towards the lower, 80, 100 grand, somewhere in there. And for some of you, that's like, oh, that's a lot. This is just in a context, so don't get offended. I know a lot of people don't make that much, but in this context, these people feel like that's the best they have. But the interesting thing, and if you're listening to this and you're offended by that, realize this, that it's our mindset, it's our psychology, and the top people in the world in any business, in any sport, in any realm of an arena to actually become amazing at something, top producers, what separates them isn't always talent or skill, it's their psychology. They're investing the time every single day. And so the top people that I talk to, they look at their game and they think there's so many more ways it could be better. Unsuccessful people, or the people towards the bottom are always like, yep, that's about as good as it gets. But successful people, they look at their game, they look at their strategy, they look at their videos, they look at their ability to go out there and make things happen. They say, you could always be better. And so despite the fact that it's good, and they don't have this context, they don't have this mindset where they're looking at the context of what they've done in their performance as like a negative, like beating it apart. They say, you know what, that's great, but how can I make it even better? That keeps it exciting. So despite their success, even Olympic athletes that get the gold, they're like, you know what, there's this one thing I could have done. They're always trying to make something better or create a new strategy. It keeps them excited, keeps them engaged. So what part of your game can you make better? as you review your RPAs, your revenue producing activities, the time that you're actually there. So make sure you're maximizing your time in those RPAs, and then make sure that you've conditioned yourself to actually show up as your best when you're in front of people. Hope this has served you, and subscribe to this video. Take care.